from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Report.
Good evening, Southern Maryland, and I'm forecaster John Bordash with you in the JB Weather Center this evening, continuing to track what looks to be an active 24 to 48 hours here in the Mid-Atlantic as our season's latest winter storm looks to move through the region as we head into your day on Tuesday. Earlier today, widespread winter storm warnings were issued for areas south of Baltimore. These take effect at 1 o'clock Tuesday afternoon and run through Wednesday morning. It's these areas here shaded in pink that are going to be seeing the highest impacts as we head throughout the day on Tuesday, with the potential of 4 to as much as 8 inches of snow for some regions. Some other areas in the zone could be looking at sleet, but we'll detail that more here in just a moment. To the north of there, shaded in purple, that's where you have that winter weather advisory. That's from the Baltimore area back towards Winchester, on up towards Hagerstown, on over towards York, and on over towards the Philadelphia metro area. This is a region that's going to be seeing snow, just not as much snow, but impacts are still going to be felt in this region as much as 2 to 4 inches of snow is going to be possible on up towards that region. What time are we looking at the snow to really start breaking out, though, as we head into the day on Tuesday? It's a question I've been getting plenty of, and this is just a general look at what we're talking about. We're talking about a mid to late morning start for areas south and west of Fredericksburg, down towards Harrisonburg and Charlottesville, with the start time right around the lunch hour as we head towards Morgantown, Winchester, Fredericksburg, Leonardtown, and Tappahannock, kind of looking there at that Potomac River corridor. As you head further to the north and east, we're talking about an early afternoon start between about 1 to 3 o'clock from a band stretching from about Chambersburg to Hagerstown to Frederick and Rockville down towards Washington, D.C., Annapolis, Baltimore, Easton, Salisbury, and Georgetown, Delaware. And then further to the north and east of there, we're looking at a mid to late afternoon start, about 3 to 5 o'clock for snow to start breaking out in the Harrisburg and York metro areas, Philadelphia, on over towards South Jersey. With this in mind, this is starting to bring some impacts for area schools. Now, again, this is recorded just before 7 o'clock, so this map I'm sure will have changed by the time you are seeing this, but this is just a general look at what schools are already doing across the region in terms of tomorrow. The school districts in the regions shaded in red, those are school districts that are closing or going virtual for the day on Tuesday, with those yellow shaded counties going ahead and dismissing classes between 2 to 3 to 3.5 hours early, depending on the school district you're in. So school districts are taking this seriously, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some of those early dismissals just change to full-on closures as we head into tomorrow morning. Let's go ahead and take a look at the latest future view model run by Cedar Point Federal Credit Union, and we can see that our model has snow really beginning to break out again as we head towards the lunch hour, and we know this. Snow becomes widespread as we head on over into the afternoon hours, with bands of more moderate snow beginning to develop around the D.C. metro area, lighter snow to the north. Continuing this forward, though, what you will notice by the evening hours is that we have two kind of impressive zones setting up. An area with more moderate snow across the D.C. metro area, with an area of potential mix across southern Maryland, the Tidewater of Virginia, and parts of Delmarva, which is something that we will definitely need to watch. Areas that don't get in on that sleet mix will be seeing heavy snow, so it's going to be a fine line between who sees a lot and who sees more just moderate totals. The snow continues overnight and pushes out as we head into Wednesday morning, but impacts are sure to linger. The current snowfall forecast here from JB Weather does paint a general 4 to 7 inches of snow across much of the Mid-Atlantic, south of Baltimore, all the way down towards about Tappahannock. You'll see that area there shaded in white. That's the area that could see potentially over 6 inches of snow. That could be potentially a 6 to 8 or as much as 9 inches of snow for some isolated locations, but I definitely think 4 to 7 inches plus looks likely for this area here in pink. North of there, snow total starts to drop off as you have lighter precip rates, only talking about 2 to 4 inches in Frederick, Maryland, York, Lancaster, on over towards Philadelphia, and lower amounts as you head south of the 4 to 7 band, south of Tappahannock, getting towards Richmond, where you'll see more mixing. It's really going to be, as we zoom into our region, this northern part of southern Maryland. We're talking from about Waldorf to about the beaches, on up towards DC and Annapolis that I think are the likeliest areas to see the highest snow totals, but many regions are likely going to be closing in somewhere around half a foot of snow, especially north of about Lexington Park, north of Pax River, north of Montrose, on over towards like King George, Mechanicsville, and on over towards Prince Frederick. I'm going to be watching that area, though, south of Prince Frederick's, about Mechanicsville, points south, Fredericksburg, points south and east, to potentially mix with a little bit of sleet Tuesday evening. Just like with our storm in early January. Areas that do mix with sleet will see snow totals reduced. Areas that don't mix with sleet will see much more snow. So this is going to be something that we're going to definitely want to keep in mind. And again, we're looking at widespread high impacts throughout the day on Tuesday going into Wednesday. Any travel, I think Tuesday afternoon, really after about 1 or 2 o'clock, is going to be a little bit difficult to do, especially south of Baltimore. So you're going to want to keep that in mind, and these impacts linger into Wednesday, and then we have a chance of a wintry mix focusing north and west of DC, but still nonetheless parts of our coverage area could be looking at a little bit of snow, going to sleet, then freezing rain Wednesday night into Thursday. All of this to say, you're going to want to stay tuned to JB Weather for the latest information throughout what looks to be an action-packed February that continues to produce winter storm threats, school closures, and travel headaches across the region. So stay tuned. I'll be here in the JB Weather Center continuing to keep you updated. In the meantime, I'm forecaster John Bordash. Have a nice and safe one. Keep it tuned right here, and I'll continue to keep you and your family one step ahead of our latest storm.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.